Welcome to Terraria. This is going to be a look into the game of what you can do and find. Well, a little bit at least. You can create your character to whatever you want to be. But for this video, I'm just going to be this. Next is to create a world. The world can be randomly generated, and you can set your preferred difficulty. Since we're at this part, I feel the need to mention that there are 8 secret seeds as of the 1.4.4 update, and for the sake of not spoiling the worlds of this video, I'm not going to show them off here. These seeds include the Drunk World, Not the Bees, For the Worthy, Celebration Mark 10, No Traps, Remix, Zenith. Now, this one is a crossover with the game Don't Starve, The Constant. When you spawn in, your first instinct is to usually go to the left and right. You'll encounter interesting biomes such as the jungle, the snow biome, the desert, the ocean, and depending on your world, you will either see the corruption or the crimson during your travels. After seeing all the overworld has to offer, your next choice is to start digging down. You'll find some pretty neat accessories while you explore the overworld or while you are digging deep within the caverns. And look at all of these! There's so damn many! During your time playing, you'll spend a lot of time mining for useful ores that can be used to craft metal bars for a large variety of items. Some of those items being armor. Much rarer ores like gold will increase your defense, allowing you to take more hits than if you weren't wearing anything at all. You ever just want to sit back and relax? You want to find a way out from all of that fighting? Well, why not just go fishing? Grab a rod and some bait, go to the nearest lake, and just wind down.
Many unbearable hours later.
When you're finished fishing, you may have gotten a good haul. And well, some of those fish might just give you the ability to craft some high-end potions. They will be super useful when you are going to fight harder content. During your playthrough, you may need to create housing for some NPCs who are wanting to move into your world. 26 of them in fact. And they all do their own things that may or may not be beneficial to your survival. Having trouble fighting bosses on that rough terrain that just really messes with you? Well, do I have a solution for you? A long, spacious, flat ground to help you run and escape those hurtful attacks. To top it all off, it's completely customizable to your liking. You might even want to create some useful contraptions like a heart generator, or maybe a teleporter, or even traps to prank your friends. Oh damn it, this isn't the same. If you're a creative type, you might even like the building aspect of the game. There are so much blocks and decorative items that I'm pretty sure I haven't even seen them all. Unfortunately, I haven't a creative bone in my body. After preparing yourself, you can start taking on the Pre-Hardmode Bosses. Usually, defeating one of these bosses will give you items and materials necessary to progress through the game, eventually leading to hard mode. There are 8 pre-hard mode bosses. However, only 7 can be spawned in the same world, as the Eater of Worlds can only spawn in worlds that have the corruption, and the Brain of Cthulhu can only spawn in worlds that have the crimson. Once the Wall of Flesh is conquered, you will enter hard mode, and if you aren't ready to take on the new obstacles they have spawned in, you will be sent home crying. Events, some also known as invasions. These are temporary occurrences where a variety of special enemies spawn. Some events can randomly happen during gameplay, which can be annoying. Like, oh, you wanted to make an arena for the Queen Slime? Sorry, you've got pirates invading your homeland. Other events can be spawned using a summoning item that you can craft, such as the Pumpkin Moon. During these events, you will encounter new types of enemies. Some enemies will drop a rare item, like the well-known Broken Hero Sword. that can be used to craft the Terra Blade. While flailing your sword about, you might just get bored with all of the up close and personal fighting. And it just so happens that this game has a variety of different weapons and armor to help you find your preferred fighting style. It has your classic tanky melee build that can take a lot of hits, the ranged DPS that uses either a bow and arrow or a high-powered machine gun that mows down your enemies at a distance, or the mage build that has low defense power but hits like a double-decker bus going 50 miles an hour. Finally, when you found your preferred fighting style, you can decide to now take on the hard mode bosses. There are 10 hard mode bosses this time around, and they do boast high damage, so you better be ready. Eventually, you'll beat the lunatic cultist, and when that happens, the lunar event begins. This will spawn in 4 different pillars that are spread evenly across the overworld. When you get close to one of the pillars, you'll notice a barrier around it, and you're probably wondering, how do I remove that? Well, enemies specific to that pillar you are close to will spawn in, and killing enough of them will remove it, allowing you to destroy the pillar. Do this for all 4 of them to beat the lunar event. Immediately after all of the lunar pillars have been defeated, you will then fight the final boss of Terraria, the Moon Lord. If you have not created an arena, made useful potions, or just strong enough armor, you will be eviscerated. Being prepared will net you the best chance at surviving. And well, sometimes it will take a few tries to gain the know-how to beat him. Once you do eventually beat him, I bet you will never forget that feeling. You may even want more, but unfortunately, that is the end of the road. The end of your playthrough. Now, I know I've left out a lot of what's in Terraria. I just couldn't show everything. So, now that we've made it to the end of the video, let me ask you one question. Will you play Terraria?